So we still use this example, f of x equals the square root 5x minus 8. Okay, so one way to use the chain rule is like we did here. We needed to figure out what is the outside function, the inside function. Let u introduce some variable u, right? Then, but this, as we know, the chain rule is just one step of the calculation to calculate the derivative of composite function. So we should not make it so complicated, right? So we use the idea of the inside function and outside function. So the derivative of the composite function is the derivative of outside function, then plug in the inside function, then times the derivative of the inside function. Okay, so we use this way to calculate this one quickly. So here we rewrite this square root as the power. What is the outside function? As we know, the last operation, if you want to evaluate this function, right, plug in x some numbers, what is the last operation, which is take the 1/2 power, right? So 1/2 power, the exponent 1/2 would be the outside function. So the rest part, 5x minus 8, would be the inside function. So the derivative of this function, capital F, which is the derivative outside function. The outside function is the power, 1/2 power. So we use the power rule. It should be 1/2 times something, 1/2 minus 1, right? This is the derivative for the 1/2 power. Then we plug in the inside function, which is 5x minus 8. Don't stop here. We should continue, right? Many students will stop here, but they forgot they should multiply, not plus, okay? Multiply by the derivative of the inside function. So if you get this one, this would be 1/2 times 5x minus 8 to the negative 1/2 times 5. So you see, the 5 is here, right? You will have the same answer as we did here. Okay. So you should be very familiar with this way to do the calculation. Otherwise, you need to let u, let g, let f, then you do some calculations, right? So it would be very complicated. But so we'd better to use this way, the outside function, the derivative outside function times the derivative inside function. Okay. So here is another question. F of x equals tangent x squared. So what is the outside function? The outside function, if you want to evaluate, you need to x squared first, right? Then take the tangent. So the tangent would be the outside function. So what is the derivative of the tangent? So this is the derivative of f. What is the derivative of outside function tangent? We just learned, right? The tangent, take the derivative, would be the secant. So it's secant square. Secant square of something, right? Or what? We plug in the inside function. This is the inside function. The rest part would be inside. Then multiply by the derivative of inside function. So this would be 2x times secant square of x squared. Okay, let's look at more examples. We should practice many examples to understand this rule, which is the cosine x to the 4th plus 1. So in this example, what is the outside function? The outside function would be the cosine, right? What is the derivative for the cosine? The derivative of cosine equals negative sine. Negative sine of what? Of this inside function, which is x to the 4th plus 1. Then more times the derivative of inside function, x to the 4th plus 1. So this would be your answer. Negative sine, we do the calculation. X to the 4th plus 1 times, this is the 4, sorry. 4x cubed, right? We use the power rule. Another one, if you have a f of x which is equal to cosine to the fourth of x. So what does this mean? This means, by the convention, this means the fourth power of the function, whole function cosine x. So what is the outside function? The outside function, if you plug in a number into x, the first step you evaluate the cosine of the number, then raise to the power 4. So the power 4 would be the outside function. So if the derivative is f equals the derivative outside function, which is the power 4, the derivative power 4, which is 4, we use the power rule, right, of something 4 minus 1. What's the inside? Inside is this inside function cosine x. Can we stop here? No. We need to continue multiply by the derivative of this inside function, right? So this would be 4 cosine x to the cube times what? Negative sine x. Okay, so now let's look at this example. H of x equals e to the 5x plus 4. So the power of this e, which is 5x plus 4. So what is the outside function? So if you plug in the number x, so you need to multiply by 5 first, then plus 4, then you evaluate this power with base e. So this e function is the exponential function with base e, which is the outside function. So the derivative of h, which is equal to the derivative of the e function would be itself, right? E to the itself, so which is 5x plus 4, then multiply by the derivative of inside function, which is 5x plus 4. So this would be 5 times e to the 5x plus 4. Okay. Another one. If we have h of x equals the natural log x squared plus x. Okay, so what is the outside function? The outside function would be the natural log, right? Do you remember the derivative of the natural log is 1 over, right? It's 1 over something. What is here? This, you keep this inside function, you put the inside function here, keep the whole inside function here, then multiply by the derivative of inside function. So this would be 1 over x squared plus x times 2x plus 1. So if you want to combine together, it would be 2x plus 1 over x squared plus x. Now let's look at this problem. Sine x times e to the x. What is the outside function? The outside function would be the sine function, right? So the derivative is equal to the outside function, the derivative of sine equals cosine. Cosine of what? The rest part would be the inside function of x times e to the x. Can we stop here? No. We need to multiply by the derivative of inside function x times x e to the x. So this is still cosine x times e to the x. Multiply by, what's that? What is this derivative? This is the derivative of the product, right? So we need to use the product rule. So this would be the derivative of the first function times the second function plus x times the derivative of the second function. So this is cosine x times e to the x times, this is the e to the x, this is 1, right? 1 times e to x equals e to the x plus x times e to the x would be e to the x, right? So after this lecture, you need to find some practice problem to practice this rule. You should be very familiar with this rule. Otherwise, you cannot continue this calculus 1.